Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the best website options if you want to build your own company website or business website, small business or blog website. So first off, if you've done the search, you would have noticed there's quite a few options, and so you may be thinking, but oh my goodness, what works for me? So on the most basic level, you have two fundamental options. Build it yourself, and have complete creativity and means of building it on like a WordPress website, or use a third tool that then basically will then help you and have systems already set up within the system to make it easier for you. So first off, if you're going to straightforward, I'm going to build my own website, I want my own functionality, I want complete control, you need to of course go for a WordPress website. And then if you're building anything on top of a WordPress website, you will need a web builder, and for that I will recommend Elementor. In one of my next videos, I will show you exactly how we use Elementor on a daily basis in our agency. Moving on to the other option is to actually get a platform and pay the platform to have access to a lot of the functions that they offer. Now, a platform would be, for example, Wix is one very popular one or well-known one. Shopify is actually a platform for e-commerce websites. And then there's also, let's just add them into the mix on this side, and that's basically this email automation guys that have now also integrated web building into their functions, and that would be your MailChimp, your GetResponse, and any other mail server where they also have the functionality of building landing pages and websites within their solution. So if you're again going back to the WordPress, then it means that you need to know a little bit of how to set up your web access files, how to connect your domain and all those things, and maybe do a little bit of security and all those things. If you're going like the more using a solution, all-encompassing solution, then it's much easier. They've basically done all the hard work for you. You just really need to show up, connect your domain, which is your website address on the internet, which would be mybusiness.com or whatever it may be. And then they have drag and drop builders where you just drag and drop elements like a title or a text box or an image over to the page that you want to display, as well as they have templates. Now even with Elementor, which I would recommend for your WordPress websites, you do get templates as well as designs that's already made, and I do recommend sticking with them, especially if you're just starting out on your own website, because with a template or let's say elements that they've already drafted for you, they've considered things like how does your website display on mobile versus desktop. They would have thought of spacing. They would have thought of where does the title go and what's the best option for a title to be either on the left or the top or wherever it may be. So there are different templates with almost all solutions out there these days. The other question that I would like you to consider is, if you're building a website for yourself for the first time, what is your other objectives for the business? Are you planning to have email marketing included? If so, I do recommend that you use then a system where the email marketing and the web functionality is already integrated, like for example Wix or MailChimp, or my favorite, GetResponse. So that's the basics of it. Coming to the money part. So if you use one of the service companies that's got most of the things already set up for you, you will have a monthly cost to having your presence on that system. So the day that you stop paying Shopify is the day that your website stops working. Where on the other side, which is more WordPress side, WordPress is open source. It means that you only have to pay for your own hosting, where you basically, this is where your website is parked on the internet, and your domain. And in any case, whatever you do, I do recommend you having your own domain and not using a free domain like my business / the system solution you're using.com or whatever. You want to have that website domain, which is your business.com, .org, whatever it may be, .au, whatever it may be. So that is the best one, is to have your own domain. So either way, it's recommended that you have your own domain. I'll drop a link below of the company that I use, which is Bluehost, for all my hosting as well as domain costs or for clients. So you can just have a look there. And then, as I mentioned before, if you're going WordPress site, you need to self-host it. The other options, they're hosting it for you, and as I mentioned, then there's basically a monthly fee. So there is an article on my website where I break down everything and I review all the products. But basically, with a WordPress website, you're looking at just the hosting fee and then the domain, which doesn't really have to be a lot of money. It can actually quite be affordable if you do not use a web developer. If you want high functionality in your website, you're very specific about the functionality that you want on your website, like you want a community page, you want a shopping cart section, you want this and that, then I would recommend getting a web developer and building it on WordPress. If you just want a basic website, for example, I would recommend you go then and use one of the other tools that is available. And definitely, if you want to also have then the email function, as I mentioned before, try something like Wix, GetResponse, or MailChimp. So that is the basic breakdown of what is available for you if you want to start your own website. Creating a website these days really doesn't have to be that complicated. You can get away with pre-designed templates. You can just load up your logos, your colors, put in your information, and you're ready to go. If you have any other questions, just comment below and I would love to help you on your journey to setting up your own website.